Hello, welcome back. Okay, another little quick update here. I have proceeded with some of the assembly of the cockpit and forward section here, as you can see. I've completed the whole step one here, where you have the cockpit parts. Painted everything black and light gray. Did a little dab of color here and there for some of the instruments. So you see the little red there, and now that you can see the main instrument panel in there. A little dry brushing to bring out some of the details. A little weathering clay mixture here to bring out some of the details here in the front, and some of those rivets you see here in the back. One thing to point out here on this instructions, they call here for H. These are supposed to be the Mr. Hobby color reference, and they're pointing out to H33. Now H33 in Mr. Hobby color is Mr. Color is like a reddish brown color. I believe what they meant was to paint this black. What I think what happened is that the person that wrote this or designed this instruction manual, they were thinking of Humbrol 33, H33, which is black in the Humbrol color scheme. So whoever wrote this, they were thinking Humbrol, not Mr. Hobby color when they wrote this, the number 33 for black. At least that's what it appears to be. So also, if you look for any instructions, they also refer to number 33, H33, for the tires and other areas that should be typically black. So that's something to keep in mind here. Everything else here pretty much went together pretty well. Some little parts, I mean, they're really small on the, really small, like for example that. And like I mentioned, some of the sprue gates are a little bit on the thick side, big side. So actually, I mean, this little piece, when I first saw it on the sprue, I thought it was actually a piece of flash, and I almost flicked it off. Good thing I took a quick look, more careful look at it to attach it. Now, not that you can see it all that much in here anyway. Like it's pretty small in there. That's a piece right in there. Anyway, so that's the front, and also attached the gun muzzle here, and there's a little antenna here, and also the burst slicer antennas here in front. Next part was here the wheel wells, which I also assembled, which you see here. This piece here, the middle part, I just have this temporarily taped on there. But I already assembled it and glued it onto the lower fuselage here. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. The only thing that I would say about this is putting this together again. These little pieces here, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are these here. When you're looking at them on the sprue, they look like almost nothing, and they look a little misshapen. But once you cut them up and clean them up, they look fine. They look the part. This part here, which covers the center here of the wheel well. There's a notch here, correspond to a little tab here. There's another tab here, but there's really no corresponding tab here. When you go to assemble it, this would not fit flush if you have those tabs. I mean, I could have just easily just cut off that tab and left that tab and just use that one tab to place this. But what I decided to do, if you can see here, just using the X-Acto knife, I scraped out the channel there, so that tab here has a, as you can see, that tab there, the tab right there has a place to sit. So now this will fit nice and flush in there, and then all I have to do is just gonna glue it up, take care of any seam that's up here, and that should be fine. So that's the wheel well. Which is all this. And also, I think I had mentioned about about seeing it. And if you take a look in there, you'd be kind of hard pressed to see those fan blades. So don't worry about those ejection pin marks on it. Here they call for holes to the missile pylons. As far as I'm aware of, there's no missile pylons on this Tiger meat. It has the wingtip missiles, or the dummy missiles, and it's got the wing fuel tanks hanging there. Moving along to step 4 here, which is part of the assembly here, where I attached the bird cutter, the gun front here, and this little antenna, which all glued, no problems. The fit here was pretty good. Just a little light sanding to blend everything in there, and that's all good. Of course, with this, be careful not to break this off. Glue tub, it's all glued in there. I know right here, enclosed for gluing this, and I will do that next and attach the upper and lower fuselage here. And one other piece that I also moved ahead and worked on was step 8, which is the front engine intake here. So I already assembled this piece and so forth. The only real seam to take care of with gluing this is really this one here in front, which needed some sanding and probably a little bit of like rescribing. This, don't worry about. That's going to be covered like this. That goes there, so you'll never see that seam. And then the other seam, which is here on the top, you're not going to see that either, because once this is attached to this, that is completely covered, so you don't see that whatsoever. Also, the way that this is assembled, the front of the intake here is a separate piece, so you could I'll have to check out the fit, make sure the fit is good, so that could be painted separately and then attached on the inside and masked off, so you don't have to attach it and then mask it and worry about getting paint inside, which will get a little trickier in some of the other breakdowns of other F-16 models. The intake itself, I mean, it's painted at first and then I glued it, and I think you can see that it's hard to, you can just about see a little bit of a seam here on the sides, but it's not too bad. If I wanted to, I could probably fill and sand that out as well. The little divider here, I actually wound up breaking this in half, so if you look very carefully, you see it might be a little bit kinky, but oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, so that's where I'm up with the build, and I will continue on pieces. All right, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.